Welcome back. We've gotten our dry fit done. Everything fits. I've actually recut the things I didn't like, and those are ready to go as well. And now we're going to start doing the first part of the glue up. So that what we're going to do is we're going to glue up the two bottom pieces down here. We're going to glue them to each other first. So the first thing I'm going to do is just peel off any tape that's along the bottom still. I'm going to leave the tape on the deck though. Don't remove anything really. Just taking the bottom off only. And I'm just going to peel it up carefully. It's going to be hard to get off because it's probably a pretty good fit in there. Don't pull too hard. Just keep working it wherever you find some success. I'm going to use a bit of, mine's really hard. I'm going to use a bit of a ruler to just try to help me pry it out a little bit. Just work my way across all the joints. That was really in there. Okay. And like I said before, I already glued these two together, so this is why it's so hard to get them out. If you have just two individual pieces, it will come out a lot easier than what I'm having. The difficulty I'm having because it's too deep. Okay, so I think I'm there. All right, awesome. It's off. I did notice that back here I need some more tape, so I'm going to put a couple pieces of tape back here just to hold everything together. Okay, so this piece is no good to me right now. I'm going to put it off to the side. I'm going to grab my two pieces, and these are actually uncut pieces, or unglued pieces, I should say, so I can show you that gluing technique to get it all glued up right. Pull out all these extra tabs. Obviously, yours with all the extra tabs will be out already because you will already dry fit it. Okay, so here's what's next. You're going to line them up, and you're going to take, there's a big one and a small one, and yep, there they are. And they're lined up on the tab side, not the front flat side. So I'm going to flip it over, line them up, and the whole key today is alignment, alignment, alignment. I'm going to put the narrow one on top, the big one on bottom, and then notice you might have a situation where yours isn't symmetrical. So if you were to flip them over and put them there, your tabs may not line up. Mine don't line up as well this direction. So I'm going to flip it back over and use it this way. So check for the way that has the best alignment for you. Everything else looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. So I'm ready to glue. What I'm going to do is flip one of them over. So now you're looking at the two inside pieces. And I'm just going to put some glue. I'm going to put glue on the top piece, the smaller piece. That way I don't accidentally over glue into a section that's not being glued together. I'm not going to be a hero with the glue. I'm just going to put some glue down in the middle. I'm staying away from all these holes and tabs. I don't need a ton of glue on this to hold together. So I'm going to keep the glue away from here. Last thing I want to do is when I clamp it together is have glue to squeeze into this gap and then keep me from being able to assemble it later. So keep the glue like kind of like down the middle like this. Away from those outside tabs and definitely away from the holes in the middle. They're going to hold it together. This is plenty strong to hold together forever and ever and ever. And I'm going to do the next one. I'm just using my finger to put this on. This type of glue that we're using, the wood glue, is non-toxic, so it can touch your skin. There are other kinds of glues that you might use in here or at home where you want to, don't rub them with your hand, especially like a super glue. because it will set up in seconds and it will adhere to your fingers really well. It'll actually glue you together. There have been people who end up in the emergency room because they've glued big parts of their fingers or hands together with super glue. All right, that's that. And then one more across here. And I'm still, remember, I'm staying away from those gaps. I can't stress that more, or too much, I should say, to stay away from the holes in here with the glue. You don't want glue in there. Even a tiny bit of glue in there will prevent the thing from closing. Now, once you have glue on your finger, a good way just to get rid of it is you can wash it with water, that's fine, but if you just rub it on your other hand for several seconds, it'll actually dry up and then just sort of flake off. Don't do like me and do it above the thing you're gluing, because that dead glue will then get all over your project. But it'll just flake right off your hand. Keep rubbing it and pushing until it's all just gone. Or go wash your hands. Now we're gonna flip this over so you can see about the amount of glue that I have on there. It's not very much glue. I'm gonna flip it over and center it on there as best I can and just press them together. They're not super aligned right now. I'm just trying to get some glue on both sides. And now I'm gonna line them up. So I'm gonna line them up along the tabs at the bottom and the side. And this is where I've got to get it perfect. I'm looking down straight from above to make sure everything is aligned. I'm feeling the two edges on the sides here. Needs to move a tiny bit. Yeah, like that. I'm looking at all the tabs. Alignment, alignment, alignment. If it's not lined up, it will not fit together. So once I feel like I've got a pretty good alignment, I'm going to bring it to the corner of my table. I can't show you this because I'm not on a corner, but this should be like the corner of the table should be here. Like here's the other edge. Here's a front, here's a side edge. You're going to put one clamp in the corner. Now, when I clamp, I want to make sure that it's square and flush to the table. The reason we're clamping to the table is because the table is super flat, and this will make our base super flat as well. If we just clamp it like this, it's going to be whatever bow or weird shape it is in there. This way it'll help us get it nice and flat. So, but to do this, I'm going to put it down flat against the table. I'm pushing down right here with my fingers, and then slide the bottom of the clamp up, and then tighten it up. If I put it on and it's tipped up at an angle like this, as I tighten it, it's going to pull this head back towards me and then shift my boards out of alignment every time. So I want to put on pressure on top of the clamp to hold it flat and then tighten it up. Now I'm going to check for alignment again because I just put some pressure on it and I want to make sure everything is still aligned. Alignment, alignment, alignment. That's off by a tiny bit, it looks like. Okay, that looks good. There is no good enough. There is either aligned or not aligned. I'm going to put the second clamp on. I'm going to look one more time for alignment. Now that I've got two clamps on, it's not going to change its alignment at all. I'm going to put the third clamp right here in the middle. And because you've done it on the edge of a table, you can put clamps, one here and then one here as well. So you should have 5 clamps clamping all these edges. This middle part's still sticking up. That's what these heavy weights are for. So grab these heavy weights, put one on the very corner, put one somewhere else that holds it down nice and well. You can go around and feel and see if there's any spots that are still stuck up. And now this needs to stay clamped for, I don't know, 20, maybe 30 minutes. And then once it's done, once that time's up, you can go ahead and put unclamp it and put it off to the side and let it sit up. You don't want to be actually stressing it and putting it on your deck until a full day's gone by. So this is like you'll use this the next day to build the rest of the deck. All right, so I think that's it. Good job. Hang in there. And in our next video, we'll show you how to glue up everything for a final gluing.